back to my channel. Welcome in if this is your first time being here. My name is Melissa. My channel is called Empowered Gems Tarot, and in today's reading, we're going to be looking into what is next for you all in love as we head into the month of January 2026. If you guys are looking for a year ahead forecast in love, that's only going to be available for Patreon members at this time. So if you're curious to look more into the core themes for the full year ahead, check the link in my description box down below because that will take you over to my Patreon where we'll be posting that reading at some point throughout the month of January. Okay, but let's talk a little bit about what we're going to be covering today. So today we're just going to be looking into the core themes, energies, events, people, or situations of significance heading your way in the upcoming month of January. Keep in mind that this is a general collective reading on YouTube, so messages will vary in how specifically they're going to resonate with each individual viewer out there. So as a best practice, if anything ever feels confusing in the reading or it just doesn't really feel like it lines up with your situation as you know it to be, just take it as a sign it's not your message today. Release it, let it go. Understand that messages can resonate for different ones of us out there in the collective at different times. It's not always going to fit for our individual situation every single time. If you guys did want to book a personal reading, that can usually be a better way to get more specific guidance on your own personal situation if the generals on YouTube are just not hitting for you. The link to book a reading with me is in my to my website is in the description box down below. So with all of that being said, now we will go ahead and select your reading. So if you're drawn to reading 1, we'll be working with this card here, Up in the Air. Reading 2 is this card, Casual Dating. And reading 3, we have Violets Are Blue, Loyalty. So I want you guys to take a deep breath and think about your love life and what you need to know about January. And when you all select your card, I really want you to trust your intuition. So don't choose a card just based off of what it says or what it looks like. Just really think about, what is my gut instinct drawing me towards? Okay. Once you've made your choice, you can scroll down to the description box below to locate the timestamp that will skip you ahead to your chosen reading. And if you do need a little bit more time, you can feel free to pause the video to make your selection. See you at your reading. Hey Group 1, welcome to your reading. We're looking into what's ahead in love this upcoming month of January. You all selected Up in the Air, and I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the tarot. And what I'm going to do is a little spread in this reading, just a little different than I typically do these month ahead forecasts for love. What I want to do is take a look at where you are headed into the month of January. So kind of your current position energetically. We're going to take a look at what's being released this month in love, what's coming in for you in love, and the outcome or final energy you're in toward the end of the month, okay? And then of course, we'll be using tons of different decks to build out the message more robustly for you. Let's go ahead and take a look, Spirit. So for Group 1, we are looking at what is up next in love in the month of January, and we're going to start with their current energy. Okay, so we have the King of Brooms. This is the King of Wands. Okay, and what's being released and let go of this month in love for Group 1? We have the Six of Wands. Okay. And what's shifting and changing? What's coming in for love this month for Group 1? We have the Seven of Swords. I'm sorry, the Eight of Swords. And what's the outcome? The Sun. Ooh. Very interesting tea. We have the Nine of Pentacles at the bottom, which I actually really love to see because this shows maybe some of you guys are going to be single toward the end of this month or focusing more on your own things. Your financial prosperity, your career, your abundance, something along those lines could be significant here. So you guys have this overall energy showing of Up in the Air. So as we're coming into the month of January, and I think as you guys are navigating your love life this month, there is something that I think is still in flux or something that's still mutable, something that's still being ironed out when it comes to your love life. And when I think of that phrase Up in the Air, it just sort of says to me that something isn't fully assured or something isn't fully settled on at this time. And I think as you guys close out the month with the sun being here, there's going to be clarity. Like the clarity that you need is there for you to be able to make whatever decision feels best for you. Okay. So let's kind of walk through what I'm seeing in this spread. I feel like you guys are kicking off this month with this King of Wands energy, showing a lot of confidence, a lot of passion, a lot of charisma, charm. This could even be like somebody, like a masculine that you guys are connecting with, but it could just very much just be your own energy here. But the King of Wands in love is definitely somebody who's really passionate, someone charismatic, someone who's a leader, someone who's bold and not afraid to go after what he wants or what they want. But I'm kind of like intrigued by the fact that this King of Wands is sort of looking toward the past. So I feel like for a lot of you guys this month, you are in this really bold, confident energy, but you're looking over the past. You know, so maybe some of you have done a lot of inner work to get to this place, or you are reflecting on things that you've overcome, things that have helped you to become more bold and more confident in who you are. And what's kind of interesting here with what's being released is we have the Six of Pentacles, okay? So the Six of Pentacles is an energy of like balance and reciprocity, but it's also an energy of breadcrumbing, okay? So what I find really interesting about this is that when we look at this card, this is the Wizard of Oz tarot deck that I picked up recently. You know, a lot of times this card depicts like a power imbalance. It's not one of my favorite cards to get in love. And of course, it can play out differently depending on the situation. It's not always inherently negative. But what I notice here is we've got like the wizard. He is giving gems or giving things to the flying monkeys here and like one of the guards, right? It's sort of like it shows me someone who is in a position of authority and power, who has the means to give, but he is being very discerning and very cautious about what he's giving to who and why. Now, for some of you, I think that that is an energy that you're releasing, right? Like I feel for a lot of my group 1 viewers, this King of Wands is showing me that you're stepping into knowing your worth. You're much more confident in yourself. You're more abundant and independent on your own, right? Not necessarily needing attention or breadcrumbs from somebody else. And so if somebody's been breadcrumbing you as we move into the month of January, this is what's being released, is this breadcrumbing energy, this lack of reciprocity, this feeling like you're begging for scraps of somebody's time. Now, for others of you, this could also be a flipped message where it's like you are the person who is releasing and letting go of this need to like give resources to people, right? Because sometimes with the Six of Pentacles, this can show up when maybe we're spreading ourselves a little bit too thin, or maybe it's showing up because in the past we've overextended ourselves in some capacity. And so now we're in this place where like we have to really be discerning and rationing our resources, our time, our effort, our energy, right? So it could be a flipped message where for some of you, you're receiving breadcrumbs. For others of you, maybe you're releasing this energy of giving breadcrumbs. It could be that like, you know, you're trying to, it's just like the energy of reciprocity. There's something unhealthy around this that you guys have been navigating through that you're letting go of this month, okay? Now, what's shifting and changing for you is we have the Eight of Swords coming through. So I feel like there is an energy this month where maybe something that's going on has you guys feeling a bit powerless or a bit awkward. But I don't think this is going to last long because the outcome here is with the sun. And in the energy of the sun, we have Dorothy wearing the ruby slippers. We know like the yellow brick road, you know, it's like leading to a certain path, right? It's like guiding her. The path forward is illuminated, right? And so what I kind of feel with this Eight of Swords is that you guys might find yourself in a situation that feels a bit awkward, or you feel like maybe it's like, ugh, I don't feel super comfortable. But notice that it is Glinda here, who is the good witch in The Wizard of Oz. We know Wicked has a different storyline, right? But, you know, this tells me that what's shifting is that you guys are realizing the power that you actually hold. This is boosting your confidence, and the path forward when it comes to love and what direction you should take is being illuminated. And I feel like for so many of you guys, this is more about you becoming more independent, right? Knowing that you can go out on your own. You have everything that you need to feel successful, to be confident, to create whatever outcome that you're looking for yourself. Okay. So let's keep going. So what is happening this month in love for group 1, please, Spirit? Let's look at the beginning and then the end, where they start. We have support, lean on your inner circle during this time. And where do they end up toward the end? Friendship. Okay. Interesting. You guys might, at the beginning of the month, be sort of like needing support or finding that you're needing support. But what's kind of interesting here with the Six of Pentacles is it feels like this is what's being released a little bit here. So I'm wondering for some of you if you're like releasing this need to rely on others for support, because you're ending up here with this 9 of Pentacles, which is about being self-sufficient, right? So maybe the support is up in the air, or maybe you're not getting fully what you need, and this is pushing you to kind of confront your own power so that you can end up giving yourself the support that you need. We also have friendship coming up as well. So for some of you, this could be connected more to like reciprocity in your friendships versus like a romantic partner. I know that a lot of you guys come to these readings looking for specifics on romantic partners, but sometimes Spirit highlights other types of love relationships for us. So maybe this is around the theme of friendships and just general connections that you have in your life, where it's like, the reciprocity is just not there, and you're learning to stand in your own power and to move forward in confidence as an independent, regardless of what is happening in your friend group or with your connections. Okay, let's keep going. What's next in love this month, Spirit, for group 1, please? Where do they start and where do they end? We have career. Interesting. So something about your career, I think, is connected here. This could be that you guys are a leader in your career. It could be that some of these dynamics are playing out with people at work, where you're kind of understanding who's really in your circle and who's really there for support and who's not, right? And it's interesting with the 9 of Pentacles here, because I think Spirit is telling you that, like, I feel like the lesson is like, you don't need these people or this person. You have all the tools that you need to move forward. I just feel like there's a lesson here about being more selective about who you're connecting with and who your friends are, group 1. Some of you guys could be getting some sort of a promotion as well, or moving into something new in your career where you're going to be getting an increase in your financial abundance here. And it's navigating a clear path forward for you. Oops, hold up. Let's grab one more here. Where do they end up, please, Spirit? At the end here. We have children. Oop. Childlike innocence and fun. Maybe some of you guys are, maybe children are involved in whatever your situation is. Maybe you guys have children, or maybe you're dating someone or married to someone and have children, something like that. We do have the energy of dating here at the bottom of the deck. So this is kind of interesting, because I feel like once you guys kind of release and let go of whatever these imbalanced connections are, it's actually like paving the way for you to connect with new people that might be more aligned with your level of power or influence that you hold, right? I almost feel like being in these sort of weird power dynamics, it's like, maybe it's left you guys with the illusion that you're less powerful or sovereign than you realize that you are. It's almost like giving me this energy where maybe some of you guys have not always understood your worth, right? And so I think as you navigate through this process of letting go of breadcrumbs and understanding your own power and your own worth, it may be illuminating a new path forward for you to connect with friends, romantic partners, maybe children are involved here, but like people that are more on your level, right? Because a Nine of Pentacles is somebody who understands their value. They carry a lot of value. And so they can be a lot more selective about who they're associating with because they don't need anything from anybody. You know what I mean? And maybe these are the types of friends that you are going to be encountering as you guys move through these changes, or the types of connections you're going to be encountering as you move through these changes, right? Because someone in this energy truly doesn't need anything from anybody else because they are able to fulfill their own needs, right? Whereas I feel like over here where you guys are starting off, right, you have this charm, this charisma, this power. It draws a lot of people to you, but it might not be attracting in connections that are most reciprocal, that are on your level, right? We see that power imbalance, that dynamic difference here. And so I see you guys moving into a space where you're highly valued and you're seeing your value. And it is bringing in dating opportunities or friendship opportunities that are more aligned with that. So let's keep going. This is interesting, group one. Anything else, Spirit, for group one that they need to know about love this month? We're just going to get a couple more cards. A couple more decks, rather. We have the butterfly, relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child and growth. So children can also be inner child stuff too. But this definitely says that like something is changing, something is evolving for you. There's a transformation happening here. Maybe for some of you, there is a friendship that is leading to dating, something being illuminated to you that you were not aware of. But again, to me, this just feels like you guys have done your inner work. And it's possible that that's why children is coming up, is because maybe some of this energy that you're releasing stems from the inner child wounds that you carry, right? Okay, we do also have the golden mirror. This says self-absorbed, narcissist, one-sided relationships, and love bombing. Yeah. To me, this is like what you guys are learning to release. I think this is what's being illuminated for you, is that maybe there has been like a one-sided connection that you're releasing that's made you feel less than. Maybe you guys have worked through some healing as it pertains to things like love bombing, or, you know, people that are showing up in connections a little bit self-absorbed. Maybe for some of you guys, you're the one that's doing the reflection on how you're showing up in this energy. Like maybe some of you guys are asking yourselves the question, like, am I being one-sided in my connections? And you're doing some healing work around that. We do also have this energy of the runner here. This says runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy and listening to the ego. So this could be something like a core wound that some of you guys are healing this month, or that some of you guys have experienced through a connection this month with someone else, and you're releasing and letting that go. Okay, this is super interesting. It just, like, to me, when I'm going through this energy, group one, it really feels like this month is more about like letting go of old patterns, you know, from the past, and really recognizing your own worth and what you bring to the table, becoming independent and free of those non-reciprocal connections in your life so that you can attract in people that are more aligned and on your level of power. And when I say power, I don't mean like in the ego sense. I mean it like your confidence, your skills, your level of healing, right? So closing messages for group one, please, Spirit. What's next in love in January, please? We have calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. So that's kind of where you're starting the month. Like, I do think that you guys, some of you might be single or kind of fleshing out an old connection and really thinking about what it is that you desire in a romantic partner. You could be manifesting, you could be vision boarding, you could be doing some inner work to align yourself with your ideal partner. Okay. And one more. And then we do have, we also have the energy of flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. So again, like ending the month feeling more light. So it doesn't really feel to me, you guys, like you're going to be like necessarily dating someone new, or like it doesn't feel like there's a very significant relationship here. Maybe for some of you, like the exiting of a significant relationship. It just feels more like the energy of balance and reciprocity and is being evaluated, and unhealthy patterns are being released so that you can really step into a more independent, elevated energy within your connections. So I think toward the end of the month, you guys will be flirting, maybe dating a little bit. There is a message here from Spirit to pay attention to the red flags. So listen to your gut instincts around the situation, especially if you're seeing any familiar patterns showing back up. Really watch for one-sided relationships or people who come in like really hot and heavy. Because I think that there is something about that could still be potentially resurfacing at the end of the month, in particular with a friend, I feel, or somebody in your support group, maybe someone at work. You know, some people, you guys, like with this runner energy, there could be like somebody here that they are afraid of being authentic, right? This is somebody who's afraid of emotions. They don't understand their emotions. They don't understand how to be like really intimate with someone. And when I say intimate, it doesn't necessarily mean sexual. It means like just how do we be vulnerable and just talk about how we feel. And I feel like this person, whoever this is somebody who might come in and they might say all of the right things. They might be kind of flirty about it or charming about it, but they're not necessarily being authentic. It's coming from a place of being self-serving, whether they consciously realize that or not. And it's an inner child wound that this person has. And that could be your energy, right? You have to be real with yourself. Like, is this me or is this somebody that I'm dealing with? Either way, that is being illuminated for you guys this month so that you can move forward accordingly, okay? But this is what I see for you, Group 1, to kick off the month, first month of the new year. Comment below. Let me know a little bit about what you guys have planned, what's happening in your love life. If you guys want to take a look at the full energy for the year for love this year, I'm going to be posting that on Patreon this month. So if you are a member, feel free to check that out there. If you want to join us over there, you can definitely see that video on Patreon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next reading really soon. Bye. Hey, group number 2, welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the casual dating card, this is going to be your message for love for the month of January. And what I'm going to be doing is a spread today where we're going to take a look at where you're starting the month in love. We're going to take a look at what is being released this month in love, what's changing or coming in for you this month in love, and where you end up by the end of the month energetically, okay? As I'm shuffling the deck, I do keep seeing this. This is the Queen of Wands, okay? It's interesting. So there could be something about your confidence, your boldness, your magnetism. Let's see. So let's see. Group 2, Spirit. What is next in love in the month of January for my Group 2 viewers? Let's see where they're starting off this month. Okay. So we have the 5 of Bricks. This is the 5 of Pentacles. Okay. And what's being released this month in love, please, Spirit? We have the 8 of Swords. So this is what's being released. What is changing? What's coming in this month in love for Group 3? We have the Queen of Swords. Okay. And where do they end the month when it comes to love? The 4 of Pentacles. All right, my friends. And we have a 6 of Pentacles here at the bottom of the deck. And I think what I'm going to do for you guys, I'm going to do it just slightly differently than I did Group 1. I'm going to go ahead and pull some of our oracle cards, and then we'll dive into what's happening. So what is next in love, Spirit, for Group 2? Looking into the month of January 2026. I want to look at the energy of the beginning of the month to give context for these cards, and then the energy toward the ending of the month. Can already tell you guys, though, I'm definitely sensing like some fear-based energy. We'll get to that, though. So beginning of the month, we do have true love. And then the ending of the month, please, Spirit. I think you guys just want to feel like you're safe, and I think you guys are definitely moving with discernment this month because maybe you've been burned in the past, okay? So in our overall energies, we do have casual dating. So that seems to be sort of an overarching theme for you guys this month. Now, casual dating can mean a lot of different things. This could be like you guys are on the dating apps and you're just meeting new people, casually connecting with others. Maybe for others of you, you're actually in more of a, like a, I don't want to say a situationship, but maybe somebody new or someone newer or just someone in general that you're casually seeing, and it's just like one person. Take it as it resonates for you. But I feel like where you guys are actually starting the month is there seems to be some fleshing out of maybe some self-worth issues, right? Because the Five of Pentacles talks about feeling left out, feeling like an outsider, maybe feeling minimized or marginalized in some way, not feeling worthy, not feeling good enough. And I'm wondering if this is coming from, a connection or relationships of the past where you were breadcrumbed or there was like a lack of reciprocity. It's interesting because that theme of reciprocity also came up with group one's reading. So maybe that's kind of a core theme that our collective is pushing through this month. Even when I look at this card, right, it's like she's, this is from The Wizard of Oz, not Wicked. So the storyline's a little bit different, right? But it's like she is telling this monkey, she's like giving him instructions, like, you need to go do this for me. Right. And so I'm wondering if there's also something that you guys are navigating through at the beginning of the month around like power dynamics in relationships too. Like maybe where you don't feel like you have the power or like the upper hand, or somebody else is sort of dictating the terms and your needs are feeling minimized. Right. I feel like that could be a thing for some of you. And what's being released here this month is this Eight of Spears, which is the Eight of Swords. This is beautiful energy because this tells me that something that's shifting for you guys this month is that you're going to be stepping more into your power, and it's specifically mentally with the way that you think about these things. Because the Eight of Swords is an energy of self-sabotaging thoughts where we feel like we're powerless, but it's because that's what our mind is telling us. It's fear-based thinking that is keeping us stuck. This is Galinda, right? In The Wizard of Oz, she's the good witch. She has power. She's surrounded by these spears. Well, she could get out of that really easily using her power, but she's stuck, right? Because her thoughts are telling her otherwise. And so I think that you guys are coming into some realizations early this month about power imbalances, reciprocity issues, and just kind of like having some realizations around your own power and authority to choose for yourself in relationships, okay? And maybe for some of you guys with true love being here, I feel like this is something that you guys really desire, right? I feel like this is something that's driving you to make some of these changes. This love is emotional, physical, and unconditional. This is a conditional love that we see here, right? This is like, you're going to do this for me. I'm telling you to do this, and I don't really care what you want to do right now. And so I say all that to say, this is sort of like the North Star for you as you guys are kicking off the month. I think you're realizing that whatever dynamics you've entertained in the past are not true love. They're not, physically, emotionally, and unconditionally loving you in these situations. And you're starting to release sort of the notion that you don't have control or autonomy or authority over choosing differently. And this is where I see some really powerful shifts coming in for you, group 2. So what's coming in next in love? What's changing for you guys this month? Well, we have the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords is discerning, right? She is smart. She is boundaried. She's not afraid to speak, right? She's not afraid to speak her boundaries. She's not afraid to say, this is my standard. She's not afraid to ask a difficult question, okay? And I think that you guys are probably dating someone, or maybe just putting yourselves back out there. And there is a little bit of fear, I think, driving this, because I think with Protected and the Four of Pentacles, which is where I see you guys ending the month, the Four of Pentacles does show me with the Queen of Swords together, there's a little bit of a closed off energy here. It's not like you guys have bad intentions. It's just coming from a place of wanting to make sure that you're protected and safe in a situation before fully letting your guard down with someone new, okay? So there is this energy of you dating, but taking it slow and being really discerning to pay attention to like red flags and things like that. Now we're gonna build this out with more oracle cards here to see if we can get some additional context. But one thing that I would flag for you guys, one thing that I would just watch out for is like, when we're in these energies, it's not always the most approachable, right? Because we are guarded, we are holding back, we're not showing our fullest, most vulnerable selves. And I think that's okay to have that discernment in the early stages of dating, right? We don't need to tell everybody everything about us. But I do think with this Queen of Swords, Four of Pentacles, there's a cold energy that I pick up on from this. So it's just something, again, to watch out for. If you guys are wanting to attract in this true love, there will be a need to get more comfortable with vulnerability. And you can be the Queen of Swords with a little hybrid of the Queen of Cups in there. Does that make sense? So let's keep going. So what else, Spirit, does group 2 need to know about love this month? What's next in love for my group 2 viewers? Let's continue this beginning of the month energy and then end of the month energy, please. We have control. Yeah, releasing and taking back power. That makes so much sense, you guys. That's exactly what I was getting. I think that you guys are realizing that there have been some power dynamics within your connections, or maybe a connection of significance that have not been fair to you, that have really left you out in the cold. I feel like you guys have just been through a lot. So I love this beginning of the month energy for you, because I definitely feel with this Eight of Swords that you're finally stepping into your power, taking back your power, and dictating the terms over your love life to create a better outcome for yourself, which is beautiful. Whoops. And what about the end of the month, please, Spirit, for group 2? Oh, okay. So this is interesting. We have the young male. So I think this is why you guys are taking it slow, okay? Because this is an energy of somebody who is not as experienced. They could be younger in age, or just maybe younger in emotions or maturity level, right? This is somebody who might be, it says sporty. They could be into cars, youthful energy, right? And so I think you're interested in this person, but you're also like, I don't know. So there's like good reason, I think, to have boundaries. That energy of the young male is not always somebody who wants to settle down, right? It's not always somebody who wants, to invest in a long-term partnership. And I feel like this is what you all really desire, is to find that true love, that long-term committed partnership with someone stable. And so you may only be like letting this person in but so much, or kind of open to it, but really wanting to take it slow to make sure that their heart is in the right place, okay? And that their intentions are in the right place here. Okay, let's see what else, group 2. What else does group 2 need to know about their love life this month? We do have engagement ring. So maybe some of you guys were you're getting out of a relationship where it was really serious. Like maybe you guys were engaged to this person, married to this person, in a long-term committed relationship with this person, and you're just kind of starting to get back out there. But again, I also think if that's not the case for you, this is part of like your North Star. It just makes me really feel like you guys are really desiring like a long-term committed partnership, true love, someone that you can really settle with and feel safe with. And whatever the dynamics have just not been that. And so this is like your inspiration for how you're moving forward and stepping back into your power. Okay. What else, please, Spirit? What about the end of the month here? Oh, we have paradise. This is beautiful. This says happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, and enjoying each other. Very cool. Okay. So yeah, like you and this person, this young male, at the end of the month, we do have abundance. Keep a positive mindset, manifest exactly what you want, gratitude, and bliss. Okay. So I think there is like a genuine enjoyment that you guys are feeling with this person. This could be somebody that just is very easygoing, somebody who's like joyful, abundant. There's like this energy of I'm not going to put pressure on it, right? I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm going to enjoy myself, but I'm still going to be discerning in my boundaries. And it might be that you guys aren't necessarily showing up super cold with this person, but you are just attuned to red flags and making sure that you're asking the right questions here and being very clear-minded about what it is and what it isn't, right? definitely still guarded, definitely still kind of holding back a little bit, not fully open. So there's still, I think, some work to do on your inner healing and your comfortability, right, to fully open up to new people. But again, I think that with this protected energy, this says you're safe and divinely guided. And with the Six of Pentacles, I actually feel like that's part of like what's protecting you, is that you're not necessarily giving everything right away to this person. You're being a little bit more discerning about how much time, effort, and energy you're putting in. And again, this is just a part of you being discerning and wanting to make sure that it's a right fit for you to continue to invest more fully. You're taking things more slowly here, okay? And I was telling group one, the Six of Pentacles in a romantic relationship, I don't always love seeing it because it can indicate like breadcrumbing or power imbalances and things like that, but it's not always bad. And I feel like in your case, group two, it's showing up more as like, let me be more cautious and discerning about how much of myself I'm fully giving to this new person until I'm sure, right? Until I've properly vetted them and I'm sure that it's the right fit for me. Okay. Let's just grab a couple more cards to close this out, group two. What is next in love, please, Spirit, for my group two viewers? What else do they need to know about the month of January? We have you deserve love. You are lovable. Yeah, it's like, I really think coming into this month, you guys have been doing a lot of inner work around your worth, your value, really coming into the realization that you deserve this true love, this engagement ring. Like you deserve to be loved fully, and wholly and unconditionally here. And so you're stepping into that power with this Eight of Swords. This is what's being released, right? You're stepping into your power and realizing that you can actually dictate the terms of that. You don't have to accept breadcrumbs, or you don't have to accept poor treatment just because that's what somebody feels like they can offer you, right? You can strive for more. What else? And then we have heart-to-heart conversations. This says, honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So there's that Queen of Swords energy coming in. So yeah, I think that there is like an element of you guys just being very clear and direct with this person. The Queen of Swords, she doesn't mince her words. She is somebody who is not going to fall for BS, right? I do kind of feel, you guys, I have to just say with the Queen of Swords and the Four of Pentacles, I feel like there could be a tendency to be a bit blunt. Not saying it's bad. But I think just like a sprinkle of the Queen of Cups in there would soften it a little bit. To open up more vulnerability and more authenticity with this person that you guys seem to be talking to. But there is an energy here of you guys like having heart-to-heart conversations, right? Getting to know each other a little bit better. The Queen of Swords is going to ask all the right questions before she fully opens up here. And then we do have deception. So this says someone is wearing a false self-mask in this relationship. So I think there is something about that connecting to you, my viewer, group two, because this Four of Pentacles is telling me that as we close out this month, yes, you're having this casual dating situation, you're getting to know someone here, but the Four of Pentacles holds things to their chest, right? They're not always going to be super open and vulnerable and, showing every facet of themselves to this person. So I would just watch for like making sure that you're not holding back, how you truly are, how you truly feel, what you truly want. The best way to know if somebody's a fit for us is just to be ourselves, right? So just watch for that. Like when we were wearing a mask in a relationship and we're not being our authentic selves, sometimes that keeps the wrong people around us longer. So just something to keep in mind. But it looks really beautiful this month, group two. I think you're going to be putting yourselves out there again, maybe after going through a difficult time. I think you're releasing, negative energies that have kept you down in love and really like going for this goal of what you deserve in love, which is true love. So let me know, you guys, how it's going and what you guys have planned for this month ahead. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next reading really soon. Bye. Hey, group three, welcome to your love reading for the month of January. So you all selected Violets Are Blue, Loyalty. This is the overall energy for your month. Let's go ahead and jump in. What I'm going to be doing is a spread this month where we're going to take a quick look at where you're starting the month, what's being released this month in love, what's coming in this month in love, or what's shifting for you, and then the outcome. Of course, we're going to be building into this reading with tons of different decks. So let's just go ahead and jump on in, group three. So Spirit, what is next in love? Month of January 2026. Let's take a look at where my viewers stand energetically as we start off this month in their love life. Where do they stand energetically, please, Spirit? My viewers this month in love. Okay. We have the Two of Spears. This is the Two of Swords. Okay. Okay. What are they releasing and letting go of this month in love? The Wheel of Fortune. What is shifting or changing, or what's coming in for them this month in love? Ooh, Justice. And what is the final energy? Where do they end the month when it comes to love? Ooh, the Eight of Pentacles. Okay. And then we do have a Two of Cups here at the bottom of the deck. I'm going to pull some oracle cards as well, and then we will jump in to this energy. Already very interested in some of the messages I'm picking up here, so let's see. So Spirit, help us understand, please, what is happening this month in love for group 3. Show us the energy at the beginning of the month, please. And then, of course, the ending of the month. We have boundaries. Okay, and then what about the end of the month? Self-care. All right, and then we do have the lovely twin flame energy here as well. So, you know, twin flames, you guys, my take on this, and this is just based on my years of experience reading for clients, my own experiences, like a twin flame is a mirror. It's a connection that's it's like a huge mirror, actually. And they can mirror back things about us that are very, very uncomfortable, but it's meant to propel us into healing. And something that I'm kind of noticing here with this Two of Cups, like look at the dynamics in this connection, right? We've got two people here. Well, this is the Wizard of Oz Tarot. And so we're going to go with the Wizard of Oz versus Wicked because the storylines are very different. But, you know, we have the Tin Man here and we have Dorothy here, and she is having to, you know, help him a lot because he's rusted. And now he is helping himself, which is good, but she's also having to help. So I kind of wonder if something that you guys have struggled with is loyalty to a fault, right? Because you're starting at the month with this energy of setting boundaries with someone. I feel like there is a partnership or somebody here that you guys do really care about, but I feel like maybe this person could, even though there's like this connection, this emotional connection with them, I sometimes wonder if you feel like you have to do a lot of fixing or overextending or helping them more than they're able to help you. And there's like this energy of them needing to start helping themselves a little bit more so that they're not overly reliant on you. I feel like that could be something this twin flame energy is mirroring to you. But, and it makes sense with the self-care card being here too. But let's keep going. Let's just kind of start at the beginning here. So this month, you guys are starting in this position of the Two of Swords. I feel like there has been something that you guys have been kind of avoiding or ignoring as it pertains to your love life. This shows me, we have the woman here. She's got a blindfold on. She's got the two swords up in front of her. You know, I think when I think about, yes, okay, boundaries. This makes so much sense because when I think about the movie, what was her name in the movie? Miss Gulch or something? When I think about this character in the movie, she goes and sets a boundary because the dog, Toto, I think bit her, right? Or was coming into her yard or something. Just saying, a very valid boundary for this lady to set, right? But in this card, it shows like she's ignoring it. She doesn't want to face it. And so I think that you guys are starting to become aware that there is a clear boundary that needs to be set. And maybe this is with somebody that you guys do feel a lot of loyalty to, or somebody that you do feel emotional care for. But whatever the situation is, I think with this Wheel of Fortune, this is what you're releasing this month. And I'm noticing like this Wheel of Fortune is in this kind of gray, black and white energy. So this beginning of the month, this is like old existing energy patterns and cycles with the Wheel of Fortune that you are having to kind of close out. I think that through finally acknowledging whatever the elephant in the room is, setting the boundary, it's actually allowing you to close out a cycle, because we move into the justice energy, which is what's changing, what's coming in for you in love. So something is being balanced out with you guys releasing this cycle and setting a boundary, and instead of ignoring the issue, talking about it or confronting the issue. So justice does talk about fairness. It talks about relationships dynamics. It's connected to the sign of Libra, right? There's something here that is being balanced out through you guys releasing this cycle, setting a boundary, and not continuing to ignore the elephant in the room. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, whatever this is has been like a pattern or a cycle that you've been in for a really, really long time. Notice how toward the end of the month, we're shifting into color now. Things become brighter, things become more vibrant, things become more balanced. And it's because this energy of setting boundaries is allowing you to focus on yourself a little bit more, to pour into yourself a little bit more. Toward the end of the month here, I see you guys with this 8 of Pentacles working more on you, doing what makes you happy. Like she's over here, she's working, but she looks really happy, right? There could be something creative that you guys are pouring energy into. Maybe your self-care is something creative as well. And I also think that through setting the boundary, it's creating better balance in your relationship or relationships, right? This could be a collective theme for some of you, or it could be someone in particular that you share this emotional harmony and resonance with, right? You can still take care of them when they need help, but they're also learning to take better care of themselves, which allows you more time to take care of you in the way that you need. So let's keep going, group 3. Group 3. So what else, Spirit? What else does group 3 need to know about the month of January in love? Let's do a card for the beginning energy of the month and then the ending energy of the month. Okay, so here's the beginning energy. So we do have fun times, parties, events, and having fun. Okay, and then the end of the month. Okay, that's a few too many there. We have triangle, crowded relationship, and choices. Okay. All right. I wonder for some of you if like this thing that you're ignoring, this boundary that we're setting, happens during a party or an event, or it's connected more to groups of people. I also wonder for some of you if you're like, maybe you guys see something at a party that you just kind of would rather not engage in, even though it is problematic behavior. For others of you, it could just be the energy of like excess, right? Like going out too much. There's just something connected to it that's old, that like you've been avoiding, or that's part of an old version of you that's no longer serving you in your highest good. I think that you guys do have some decisions that you're going to need to make this month, right? And I see that with the 2 of Swords. I also see it here with the Justice card. We have triangle. This talks about crowded relationships and choices. And so I think what Spirit is saying is that before you can make whatever choice or decision this is for you, you need to spend some time on yourself. I know like we hate hearing that in love readings. It's like this, I don't know. I get that, like, but that's kind of clearly what I see with this 8 of Pentacles and this self-care energy. It's like you're not going to be able to make the right choice until you're able to work on you and get yourself to a place where you feel more balanced and clear. Clear your energy field and focus on yourself before acting. So there's no need to rush. I feel like Spirit is saying there's no need to rush making any decision. Just make sure that you're good with you. And then the choice or the path forward is going to become much more clear for you. Okay. So let's keep going, group 3. What else, Spirit, does group 3 need to know about this upcoming month ahead? I also wonder for some of you with this Justice card and this Wheel of Fortune, if like, because when I think of this scene, this happens by chance. It happens from the twister, from the tornado, right? And it just, boom, it's done. And so it just makes me wonder if the universe is coming in and pushing you out of this cycle. And maybe in the moment, it's like you need some recovery time. Maybe you're like, okay, that was intense, or maybe there's something about it where it's like you weren't expecting it, so you need some recovery time. But ultimately, I feel Spirit is saying that it's pushing you into a better path. Even if in the moment it feels tough, it's pushing you into a better path when it comes to your love life. Okay. We have Coffee Cup, meeting and conversing, savoring the moment, feeling uplifted, and friendship. This could, maybe this is about a friend or some like more casual connection in your life. They come back around, and maybe there's a realization here that this situation needs a boundary. Okay, let's get one more for the end of the month. And then we have I like you. Someone likes you. Romance is blooming, fun flirting, and wanting to date. But this is really interesting because at the bottom we have not today, not dealing, hurt, avoiding a conversation, right? Boundaries coming up again. So there is like someone here that I think likes you and that wants to connect with you, or wants to maybe like date you or talk to you. It could be a friend. It could be like a potential romantic partner. But I think that you guys aren't really sure about it. And I feel like it's coming back to this, right? Maybe this is somebody from your past, or someone that's kind of bringing up familiar patterns or cycles for you. It's like this person, I feel like, requires more from you than you from them. And sometimes people can't like help it, right? But I think that you guys just have to make a decision about like the balance of the connection and whether or not this is the right path for you moving forward. And I think Spirit is kind of just saying, like, before you decide what to do, you need to focus more on yourself and what you need, having your own needs met here personally. Could also just be that like whatever cycle closes, you guys are just kind of in this space where you're still recovering. You're like, I'm not ready for that yet. I need time on my own first, which would be completely valid. Okay. So let's just do one more deck for group 3. So what else, Spirit, does group 3 need to know for the month ahead? We have give your relationship a chance, work on your partnership. Okay, so maybe that's kind of like the old stuff coming up. Like at the beginning of the month, I think you guys are maybe you're talking with someone, you're going to coffee, you're trying to work it out. Okay. And then we have free yourself. And then flirt. It's so interesting. Like it just feels for you guys like maybe there's an energy of an old relationship, or like an old or existing relationship, something older, more tenured in your life or more seasoned in your life. Maybe you guys are trying to go out and have fun with this person, or you're trying to like rebuild your friendship. You're going out for coffee, something like that. But then something shifts, something changes. And I almost wonder for some of you guys with the triangle, if there's also other people involved here, like, because with flirt and triangle and I like you, there could be like a third party energy here where like you're trying to give this a chance, but then someone else is also here, right? And maybe the person that you've had, maybe either one of these people in this triangle, there's like this dynamic of you having to take care of them, even though the love is there. Spirit is saying it's time to take back control of your life though, right? So I think that the way that you do that is through clearing your energetic field and focusing on you before making a choice or decision, no matter like how you're feeling about either party or whichever person this is. There's something being illuminated to you that needs work, Spirit is saying, that needs your attention rather at this time. And so with this 8 of Pentacles, this is how you're ending the month, focusing on yourself, whether that's doing your inner work or your regular work, right? Or your creative work, there's something else that you're pouring yourself into that's helping you feel more empowered and more in control of your own circumstances. It just like feels to me like maybe some of you guys have been struggling with like boundaries or staying in situations past their expiration date because of loyalty to people. I do feel like there's a lot of loyal energy that I pick up on here. There's a lot of caring energy that I pick up on here. And it doesn't mean that the other party or parties are bad, right? But it just feels like you could end up, if you're not careful, end up in situations where you are depleted because others are requiring so much more from you than you from them. And so Spirit is kind of guiding you to just like make sure that you're replenishing you, especially toward the end of the month. And that's where I see you guys freeing yourself from situations that make you feel trapped or make you feel like you can't shine because you're a unicorn. Like, look at this card. It's literally like a unicorn stuck in this little cage. This shows me that there's something very unique and beautiful about you, Group 3, that is not really able to be fully expressed by keeping yourself stuck in old situations that are not serving you or allowing you to sparkle, right? So this is really interesting, you guys. Definitely comment below. Let me know a little bit about what you've been navigating through. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in our next reading really soon. Bye.